Well, to another kind of scourge now. The founder of the global corruption think tank, Ibrahim, has cautioned the international community against criticizing corruption in Africa without setting the right examples in what he describes as the hypocrisy of Europe, which is currently losing billions of dollars annually to corruption. Mr. Ibrahim called for more prosecution for international corporate corruption. Our correspondent Doris Okenwa was at the Global Corruption meeting in London, organized by the Royal Institute of International Affairs, Chatham House.
Corruption has been the bane of development in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, but it is in fact a global phenomenon. Take for instance the European Union's recent report on corruption, which reveals that corruption cost the EU economy 120 billion euros annually, almost the size of the entire European Union budget. Tax evasion and the use of bribery by international corporations to obtain contracts was the big elephant in the room.
The overwhelming majority of cases concluded to date have involved systemic corruption across international operations of major multinational enterprises. And this lies at the heart of the unprecedented crisis of trust that our countries are facing.
This calls for a tightening of major loopholes in public procurement controls to reduce diversion of public funds through effective legislation that actively criminalizes and prosecutes corruption.
Business have gone global, but government legislation and taxation policies, etc., still are in silos. And unfortunately, they're also competing with each other. And that creates massive loopholes and enable all these multinational companies, wonderful opportunity for what you call efficient tax planning. And it's a problem.
Prosecution remains the sharpest weapon against corruption, a difficult task, especially with elites involved. But former Kenyan government official John Githongo in 2005 set the stage for a transparent Africa by exposing grand-scale corruption in Kenya. A costly move, but was effective at the time.
At the end of the day, somebody has to take a stand. One also gets angry because everyone says, oh, but this is African. And I've been asked that question afterwards, but this is the way Africa is. Africans are thieves. Africans are corrupt. This is the way it is. When your tribe comes, your tribe eats.
But the hope for any meaningful change always comes down to the people and how they can galvanize their leaders into action.
The role of civil society is to mobilize this public anger into something that causes change at the local and the national level.
It's been a wake-up call to redefine the narratives and ideas around tackling corruption globally. As participants have highlighted, the need to change tactics, the need for more practical and workable policies, but most importantly, the need for a less hypocritical approach. Doris Okenwa, Channel Television News, London.